from Little Harbour to Hopetown, which is hands down the gem of the Abaco Islands. It's picturesque, lots of character, full of cruisers, a nice beach too. We move on to Marsh Harbour, where we reveal the cost of laundry, our diesel cost, and are caught in a storm where some boats weren't so lucky. A quick stop snorkeling on Fowl, then on to Guana, which has the nicest beach of all, and it's a spot we will take future guests to.
Just heading down to 22 knots of wind right behind us. We went downwind and just the jib up doing 5.5 knots. We're doing 6 knots with just the jib, so plenty of speed. So hopefully we get in there and find a nice spot to anchor because it's pretty rolly out here.
Dives down to check on the anchor. We have initial concerns because we see 2 submerged cable lines on the charts, and we anchor in between them. What he finds is that our anchor is resting about 4 feet from the cable. If we are to drag anchor at all, we will catch ourselves on the cable. So he immediately surfaces and tells me that we need to move. We don't take big chances out here. There are enough things to naturally go wrong as it is. The Abacos have a way of capturing a cruiser's heart, and Hopetown is the crown jewel. You're greeted by the iconic red and white striped lighthouse called Elbow Reef Lighthouse. It is world famous as one of the last remaining manually operated kerosene-burning lighthouses on Earth. Hopetown is the most picturesque Bahamian key in the Abacos. It has a quiet yet cruiser-packed harbor. On any given day, you'll see plenty of U.S. flags flying from the sterns of arriving cruisers, alongside a few fellow Canadians who have made the long trek down the coast. It has narrow streets for pedestrians and golf carts, historic pastel cottages, white picket fences, and it appears that many of the homes are vacation rentals. It's perfect for wandering. I'm just looking at their bulletin board and look at their gym facility and look at the prices. Just would have expected a little bit cheaper. The pristine turquoise beach stretches for miles, and as you have correctly guessed, not another soul to be found. For us, a place like this is exactly why we choose to live on the water. May 5th was a massive storm in the Bahamas. The problem was that many cruisers didn't see it coming. The paid weather app that many of us use is called PredictWind. The app showed winds for the Exuma Islands at around 10 to 15 knots. For us in the Abacos, it showed up to 33 knots. We ended up being fine even though we had dark clouds come through, pouring rain, and a lightning show. The Exumas, however, ended up with about 3 to 4 times the wind speed that they thought. A 47-foot catamaran was struck by lightning and lost all power, including their engines. Other boaters, a Canadian guy, for example, lost his boat completely and had to return home with nothing. My guess is that he didn't have enough scope out for the storm, and he bashed into the rocks along with a few other boaters and lost their boats. We moved from Hopetown to Marsh Harbour to fill up with diesel, do laundry, which ended up costing us $75 Canadian for the laundry, and pick up some fresh produce from a bigger grocery store. But let me tell you about something happening here. We have been about 4 weeks behind the movements of a true crime series that happened in these exact areas of the Bahamas. If you haven't read the news story about Brian Hooker and his missing wife, Lynette Hooker, you will easily find stories on YouTube or in the news. About 4 weeks ago, Brian Hooker's wife went missing in Hopetown, as he says she fell off the back of the dinghy and that the currents and waves were too strong and swept her away. There have been a lot of critics of the whole story, but while we were in Marsh Harbour, Brian and Lynn's sailboat called Soulmate was also in Marsh Harbour at the same time. So if you're into true crime, then go and check out the story. Pumping diesel to the port side engine.
We've gone over 18 days and a little over 200 nautical miles, so 47 gallons is not too bad for two engines. Yeah.
$370.
Yeah, $370 US.
Yeah.
Eesh, like $7 a gallon.
It's almost 8 actually.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting ready for another snorkeling adventure. We're going to take the dinghy and head over behind us. We are at Fowl Key right now, and the reviews say it's some pretty good snorkeling. There's a reef right here, and we're going to drop anchor, jump in, see what's around. Another day goes on where the port side engine is acting up again.
Well, it's the same thing, it just loses prime.
Look at that.
Once it's primed, it usually starts.
Oh good.
Actually, not usually, always starts.
Okay. Well, that's the problem then. Welcome to Great Guana Key, a pretty sleepy little island. I was in search of a coffee shop, but like many of the other islands, haven't seen one yet. We're always wondering what folks do on these quiet, underdeveloped keys, day in and day out. No coffee shops, no pickleball courts, very few to no retail stores, and their grocery stores are the size of convenience stores. This is a nice little neighborhood. Looks like all the houses on this island are a bit more upscale, more complete. Yeah, more complete, well maintained. Found that in Bimini, a lot of the houses look really run down and they weren't maintained. Isn't it cute? We're becoming very used to being the only people on these gorgeous beaches. Because we are spending most of our days in the beating sun, we actually don't stay long because we are searching for shade. But we write this key down and the name of the beach so that we can remember to bring back family and friends to the best parts of the Bahamas that we find. Thank you for watching until the end. Your support means a lot. And if you want to show extra support, remember to hit the like button and leave a comment. See you next Thursday, where we have stingrays swim up to us and brush our legs, almost like a dog or cat would. We also swim with the rays and check out other Bahamian islands. See you in the next one.